presented by Soundlibra.com. Explore more titles via the link in the description or at Soundlibra.com. Welcome back. Last time we introduced Raise Mindful Children and the importance of presence.
It's great to be here. Just a quick heads up before we jump in. While we're talking about wellness and development, this content is for educational purposes and isn't medical or professional mental health advice, so please consult with a professional for specific concerns.
Exactly. Today, we're laying the foundation, exploring what presence truly means for our children.
That's right, Alex. We're defining presence and awareness, looking at what it looks like in young children and why building these skills early is so vital for their development. We'll also touch on the benefits of a calmer, more focused childhood and set the stage for the practices we'll explore.
So what exactly is presence or mindfulness for kids? It's about helping them be fully here in this moment without getting too caught up in what happened yesterday or worrying about tomorrow. It's like tuning into their senses, what they see, hear, smell, taste, and feel right now.
Imagine a child building with blocks. Are they just stacking them? Or are they truly noticing the colors, the shapes, how the blocks feel in their hands, the slight wobble when they add another one? That focused attention, that engagement with the present experience, that's presence in action.
Exactly. It's about a child being aware of their inner world too, their feelings, their thoughts, their body sensations. It's not about emptying their mind, because that's nearly impossible for anyone, especially a child. It's about noticing these things without judgment.
So, it's not about forcing them to be still and quiet all the time?
Not at all. It's about giving them tools to navigate their world with more calm and clarity. Think about a child who gets upset. Instead of immediately exploding, a mindful child might notice their anger rising. They might feel their heart begin to race or their fists clench. This awareness is the first step to choosing how they respond, rather than just reacting.
That's a powerful distinction. So, why is it so important to cultivate this presence and awareness from a young age?
Children's brains are incredibly adaptable. The early years are a critical window for developing foundational skills. By introducing mindfulness, we help them build stronger neural pathways for attention, emotional regulation, and focus. It's like giving their brain a healthy workout.
A brain workout. I like that analogy. So, what are the tangible benefits we can expect to see in children who practice presence?
The benefits are wide-ranging. For starters, it can significantly improve a child's ability to focus. In a world full of distractions, from buzzing phones to busy schedules, the capacity to concentrate is a superpower. Mindfulness helps train that attention muscle.
That makes so much sense. My nephew struggles to keep his attention on his homework sometimes because there are so many things pulling his focus away.
Precisely. Beyond focus, it's crucial for emotional intelligence. When children learn to recognize and name their feelings without being overwhelmed by them, they develop better emotional regulation. This means fewer meltdowns, better conflict resolution skills, and greater empathy for others. They start to understand that feelings come and go, like clouds in the sky.
So they can feel angry or sad, but they don't get stuck in those feelings? They understand their temporary states?
Exactly. And this ties into their overall well-being. A more present child is often a calmer child. They tend to worry less about the past or future, reducing anxiety. They can savor positive experiences more fully, leading to greater happiness and contentment. Imagine a child truly enjoying a simple moment, like watching a butterfly or feeling the sun on their skin.
It sounds like we're setting them up for a more resilient and joyful life.
That's the goal. And when they're present, they also connect better with the world around them. They become more aware of their surroundings, more appreciative of nature, and more curious. This can lead to a deeper sense of gratitude and connection.
So, to recap for our listeners, presence for kids is about being fully engaged in the now, noticing both external experiences and their internal feelings and thoughts without judgment. Cultivating this early is like giving their developing brains a powerful boost, leading to better focus, improved emotional regulation, greater calmness, reduced anxiety, and a deeper connection to life.
That's a perfect summary. Lisa, it's not about perfection, but about practice. We're not aiming to create little Zen masters overnight. We're simply offering them helpful tools they can use throughout their lives.
And the beauty is, these practices can be woven into everyday life, and we're going to explore exactly how to do that in upcoming episodes.
Indeed, we'll dive into simple breathing exercises, mindful eating, connecting with nature, and so much more.
It's going to be an exciting journey to help our children and ourselves cultivate more presence and awareness.
Next episode, we'll focus on one of the most fundamental tools, the power of the breath. We'll explore simple breathing exercises perfect for little ones.
That sounds wonderful. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back. Last time, we explored what presence is and why it matters for kids. Now, let's tackle the power of the breath.
The breath is so fundamental, isn't it? It's something we do constantly, yet often without much thought. Teaching children to notice and use their breath seems like a truly impactful skill.
It really is. The breath acts as a direct link to the present moment. When children, or even adults, experience strong emotions like frustration, excitement, or anxiety, their breathing often changes. It might become quicker and shallower, or they might even hold their breath briefly.
So, by becoming aware of their breath, children can actually start to notice when their emotions are getting intense.
Precisely. And once they notice, they can then intentionally use their breath to help regulate those feelings. It's like giving them a simple, built-in tool to help them calm down and reconnect with themselves. Think of it as their personal anchor in a stormy sea of emotions.
That's a great analogy, Alex. So, what are some simple ways parents can introduce this to very young children? I imagine complex explanations won't work for toddlers.
Absolutely not. For little ones, we need to make it fun and tangible. One of the easiest and most effective techniques is what we call belly breathing, sometimes also called honeybee breathing or teddy bear breathing.
Belly breathing. How does that work?
It's wonderfully simple. We have the child lie down, perhaps on their back, and place a small, light toy, like a stuffed animal or a little car, on their belly, just below the rib cage. Then we invite them to take a deep, slow breath in through their nose, imagining they're filling up their belly like a balloon.
And they can see the toy rise when they inhale?
Exactly. The toy rises as their abdomen expands. Then, as they exhale slowly through their mouth, like they're gently blowing out a candle, their belly falls and the toy gently lowers. We encourage them to make a soft humming sound on the exhale, like a little bee buzzing. This adds a sensory element that can be very calming.
Oh, I love that. The visual of the rising and falling toy, plus the gentle sound. It makes the abstract concept of breathing become a concrete, playful activity.
It does. And the repetition of breathing in and out, observing the toy, and making that soft humming sound naturally slows down their heart rate and helps them focus inward. It's a mini meditation in action. We can use this anytime they seem a bit overwhelmed or unsettled.
So, it's not just for structured mindfulness time, but for those everyday moments too, like when they're frustrated with a toy or before a nap.
Exactly. It's about weaving it into the fabric of their day. Another wonderful exercise is balloon breaths. This is great for slightly older children, perhaps preschoolers. We ask them to imagine holding a balloon in their hands.
Okay, they're holding a balloon. What next?
They take a slow, deep breath in through their nose and imagine they're filling that balloon up with air. So they puff out their cheeks and feel their belly expand. Then, as they exhale slowly through their mouth, they imagine the balloon deflating, letting all the air out gently.
So, the full breath in fills their body, and the slow exhale releases tension?
You've got it. The slow, controlled exhale is particularly effective at sending calming signals to the brain. It teaches them to release pent-up energy or worry with each breath. We can even encourage them to imagine what color balloon they are filling and then watch it float away as they exhale.
That makes it even more imaginative and engaging. It's not just about breathing, it's about creating a whole little scenario that helps them process their feelings.
And repetition is key. The more they practice these simple breathing exercises, the more natural they become. They'll start to remember them themselves when they feel that familiar tightness or flutter of big emotions. They learn to self-soothe.
It's empowering knowing they have a tool they can always access. So, to recap, for younger children, belly breathing with a toy helps them visualize their breath and calm down. And for slightly older ones, balloon breaths allow them to imaginatively release tension with a slow exhale.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. These aren't complicated techniques. They're simple, playful ways to harness the natural power of the breath. By introducing these practices early, we're giving our children a lifelong skill for emotional well-being.
It's amazing how something as basic as breathing can be so profoundly beneficial.
It truly is the foundation. We anchor ourselves in the present moment by anchoring ourselves to our breath. Thanks for listening. Welcome back. Last time, we explored the power of breath for children and how it brings calm. Now let's tackle mindful eating for kids.
Mindful eating. That sounds like a wonderful way to approach mealtime, Alex. So often, meals feel like a race or a battle to get kids to eat. How can we bring presence to the table?
We want to shift the focus from just consumption to an engaged, sensory experience. Mindful eating for children is about helping them connect with their food, truly tasting, smelling, and feeling it. It's about slowing down and appreciating every bite.
Savoring every bite. I love that. What are the benefits of teaching kids this? It seems like more than just good manners.
Oh, it's much more. By encouraging mindful eating, we help children develop a healthier relationship with food. They become more aware of their hunger and fullness cues, which can help prevent overeating or picky eating over time. They learn to listen to their bodies.
So it's about internal awareness, not external pressure. How do we start introducing this? It might feel abstract for a young child.
We start with simple sensory exploration. Before the meal, encourage them to look at their food. What colors do they see? What shapes? Ask them to smell the food. Does it smell sweet, savory, fresh?
Turning mealtime into a sensory detective game. Kids would love that.
Exactly. And then, when they take their first bite, encourage them to notice the texture. Is it crunchy, smooth, chewy, soft? And of course, the taste. Is it sweet, sour, bitter, salty? We guide them to notice all the amazing qualities of the food.
It's like rediscovering food, isn't it? For adults, we often eat on autopilot. Imagine truly paying attention to the burst of flavor in a strawberry.
Precisely. For children, this heightened awareness can be impactful. It makes food more interesting. It helps them appreciate where their food comes from. So, to recap, encourage observation, look, smell, then taste, and pay attention to texture.
Look, smell, taste, texture. Those are fantastic anchors for parents. What about picky eaters who might resist trying new things?
For picky eaters, we start small. Perhaps focus on just one aspect for a particular food. If they're hesitant to taste a new vegetable, ask them to look at its color and talk about what it reminds them of. For familiar foods, ask them to describe the taste in a new way.
So, we're not forcing them to eat, but inviting curiosity about the food.
Exactly. The goal is presence, not consumption quotas. We can make it a family activity. Parents can model mindful eating. Share your own sensory experiences. Wow, this apple is so crisp. I love the sweet, tangy taste.
That's a powerful way to teach. Children learn so much through imitation.
They really do. Another tip is to minimize distractions during meals. Turn off the television, put away tablets. This allows the child's attention to be fully on the food and the experience of eating together. Creating a calm, focused environment is key.
So, a screen-free zone for mindful feasting. That makes a lot of sense. It's like creating a sanctuary for nourishment.
Beautifully put. We can introduce simple mindfulness prompts before they eat. A short phrase like, let's thank our food for being here, or let's notice how this food makes our bodies feel strong. It's about bringing intention to eating.
These prompts are wonderful, Alex. They gently guide the child's focus. So, to reiterate, start with sensory exploration, seeing, smelling, feeling texture, and tasting. Encourage this with picky eaters by focusing on one aspect and inviting curiosity. Parents model mindful eating and create a distraction-free environment.
And we introduce simple intentions like gratitude before they begin. Remember, the essence of mindful eating for children is not about becoming a gourmet critic. It's about fostering a deeper connection to what they eat, a greater appreciation for nourishment, and ultimately a healthier relationship with food and their bodies. It's about making mealtime a moment of calm presence.
That brings the whole concept together beautifully. Making mealtime a mindful experience helps children develop awareness of their bodies, gratitude, and a richer appreciation for eating.
Absolutely. And it's a practice that can grow with them. Next episode, we'll be venturing outdoors to explore how connecting with nature can be a powerful mindfulness classroom for our children.
Connecting with nature and mindfulness sounds like a perfect follow-up. See you then.
Welcome back to Raise Mindful Children. Last time, we explored the delicious world of mindful eating. Today, we're stepping outside to discover how the great outdoors can become our most wonderful mindfulness classroom.
That sounds fantastic, Alex. It's so easy for kids, and for us adults too, to get caught up in our busy lives. Nature feels like a natural reset button, doesn't it?
It truly does, Lisa. Think about it. When we're surrounded by trees, birds, and the wind, there are so many sensory experiences happening all at once. It naturally pulls us into the present moment. So, how can we actively use nature to teach kids about presence?
I love this idea. One of the simplest ways is just to encourage them to listen. We can all pause for a moment in a park or our backyard and ask, what sounds can you hear right now? It's amazing what we notice when we really tune in.
Absolutely. You might hear the rustling of leaves, a bird chirping, or even distant sounds like a car. The key is to acknowledge those sounds without judgment. It's not about identifying every single noise, but simply noticing that sounds exist. This practice of focused listening is a core mindfulness skill. We practice noticing sounds, even the ones we can't quite identify, to train our attention.
And it's so wonderfully accessible. You don't need special equipment or a grand plan. Just taking a few minutes to consciously listen can be incredibly grounding for a child. They learn to focus their attention, which is exactly what mindfulness is all about. It's about learning to direct our focus.
Precisely. Another great activity is focusing on touch. We can encourage children to feel the texture of a rough tree bark, the smoothness of a stone, or the coolness of a blade of grass. We can ask, what does this feel like in your hand? Or, can you feel the breeze on your skin? This sensory exploration anchors them.
That's a wonderful way to connect with the physical world. It helps them anchor themselves in the present by experiencing direct sensory input. Sometimes, just feeling the earth beneath their feet can be profoundly calming. It reminds them they are part of something much larger. Feeling the earth underfoot is a powerful grounding sensation.
The feeling of being grounded and connected is so important, especially for young children who might be experiencing big emotions. Nature offers a non-judgmental space for them to simply be. It's a safe place to just exist.
You mentioned the breeze on their skin. That's a great example of using weather to teach mindfulness. We could even explore how different types of weather feel: the warmth of the sun, the coolness of rain, the softness of snow. Noticing these sensations helps build body awareness.
Excellent point, Lisa. And we can extend this to observing nature's details. Encourage kids to look closely at a single leaf, a flower petal, or an ant crawling on the ground. What colors do they see? What patterns? This kind of focused observation trains their attention and helps them appreciate the small wonders around them. Observing details sharpens their focus.
It's like holding a magnifying glass to the world, both literally and figuratively. They start to see the intricate beauty in things they might have previously overlooked. This deepens their appreciation for nature and, by extension, for their own senses. Appreciating these details cultivates wonder.
And this appreciation naturally leads to a sense of gratitude. When children take the time to truly see and experience nature, they begin to feel thankful for these moments and for the environment itself. This is a beautiful, natural offshoot of mindful nature connection. Cultivating gratitude is a wonderful outcome.
So, to recap, we can use nature to teach mindfulness by focusing on listening to sounds, feeling textures, noticing sensations like the breeze, and observing details in plants and insects. These simple acts encourage presence and a sense of connection. These are tangible ways to practice being present.
Absolutely. And it's not just about structured activities. Even a walk in the park can be a mindful experience if we approach it with intention. We can simply walk a little slower, breathe a little deeper, and invite our children to notice what's around them. Mindful walking can be a gentle practice.
That's a great reminder, Alex. It doesn't have to be a grand expedition. Small, consistent moments of connection with nature can have a huge impact on a child's ability to be present and calm. And for us parents, it offers a chance to share a peaceful moment with our children too. These small moments add up.
Indeed, the calming and grounding effects of nature are well documented, and when we intentionally bring mindfulness into these experiences, we amplify those benefits tenfold. We're teaching our children to find peace and focus in the natural world, a skill that will serve them throughout their lives. Nature provides a powerful tool for inner peace.
It's like giving them a portable sense of calm they can access anytime they step outside. A reminder that the world is full of wonder if they just take a moment to notice. This sense of calm is always available when they're in nature.
It's powerful to remember that our children are naturally drawn to nature. They explore, they touch, they are curious. Our role is often to simply guide them to do so with intention and presence. Guiding them with presence unlocks their natural curiosity.
So we've covered listening, touching, observing, and feeling the elements. These are all powerful tools for cultivating presence in our children using the natural world as our guide. They help ground us, calm us, and foster a sense of wonder and gratitude. These practices help children connect deeply with their environment.
And remember, these practices build upon each other. The focus required for observing a leaf can transfer to listening to birdsong, and the calm generated from feeling the earth can make mindful eating even more enjoyable. It's all interconnected through the practice of present awareness.
It's a beautiful, holistic approach to raising mindful children. And the best part is, it's accessible to everyone, everywhere, whether you have a vast forest or a small city park. Nature's lessons are universal.
Exactly. So, next time you're with your children, consider taking a mindful nature walk. Encourage them to be explorers of their senses, present in the moment.
That's a perfect way to wrap up this episode.
Next episode, tuning into the body awareness for young children. Welcome back. Last time we covered connecting with nature. Now let's tune into the body.
It's about helping kids really feel what's happening inside themselves.
Exactly. Disconnection from our physical selves makes it harder to understand emotions or calm down. Body awareness is key to developing a strong sense of self.
It sounds like it helps them build a solid foundation, knowing their own house before exploring.
That's a great analogy. A simple way to introduce this is through a body scan. Have you done one, Lisa?
I have. It's incredibly relaxing, bringing gentle attention to different body parts, noticing sensations without judgment.
Precisely. For kids, we make it playful. Invite them to lie down comfortably, close their eyes gently, or soften their gaze. Then, invite them to bring their attention to their toes.
Just their toes? What might a child notice there?
They might feel socks, the floor, warmth, coolness, or a tingle. The goal is simply to notice. We might say, "Can you feel your toes right now? What do they feel like?"
So, it's gentle exploration, not deep analysis.
Absolutely. We slowly move our awareness up the body. Soles of the feet, heels, ankles, shins, knees. We might say, "Now, can you notice your knees? What do they feel like?"
It's like a guided tour of their own body. What about the rest?
We continue through the legs, hips, tummy, chest, back. We'll invite them to notice their arms, hands, fingers. Then the neck, face, head. We might use playful language like wiggle your toes like little worms.
That sounds fun and accessible, gently guiding their focus.
Exactly. Then we might bring attention to the breath again, connecting it to the body. Feel your tummy rise and fall. This reinforces the connection.
So, the body scan helps them become familiar with their physical landscape. What else?
Another wonderful practice is movement awareness. This is for when they're up and about, paying attention to the sensations of moving. We can do this during simple activities or create mindful movement games.
Like what kind of games?
Imagine a game of slow motion. Ask children to pretend they're moving through thick honey. Let's walk as slowly as possible. What does it feel like in your legs?
That's brilliant. It reframes everyday movement into a mindful practice.
It really does. We can also do mindful stretching, asking them to notice the sensations. As you reach your arms up, where do you feel that stretch?
And this is where we connect physical sensations to feelings, right? Tension in shoulders might mean stress.
You've hit on a crucial point. Body awareness is a gateway to emotional intelligence. When children notice physical cues, a tight tummy, a racing heart, they can start to understand what emotions might be bubbling up.
So, it's about learning their inner language.
Precisely. This builds self-regulation. If a child notices their body feeling agitated, they can use tools like deep breathing to help calm that physical response. They learn to respond, not just react.
It sounds like it empowers them, making them internal detectives of their own well-being.
They do. Remember, the key is gentleness and playfulness. We're not asking for perfection, but inviting curiosity. We can use a body puppet idea.
I can see how regular practice would build that connection. It's like exercising an underused muscle.
That's a perfect way to think about it. Regular practice makes a difference. We can weave body awareness into everyday moments.
So, to recap, we've discussed helping children tune into their bodies through practices like the body scan and movement awareness.
And the benefit is fostering a deeper connection to themselves, which is the bedrock for understanding emotions and developing self-regulation. It's about helping them listen to their body with curiosity and kindness.
This has been so insightful, Alex. Parents will find these practices incredibly valuable.
I hope so. It truly is a gift. So what's next?
Next episode, understanding our feelings.
That's a big one. I'm looking forward to it. Join us then for more ways to raise mindful children. Welcome back to Raise Mindful Children. Last time, we explored tuning into the body. Now, let's tackle understanding feelings and building emotional intelligence in kids.
This episode is so important. Many of us, adults included, struggle to name our emotions or get overwhelmed. Using mindfulness to help children with this is incredibly powerful.
Absolutely. Emotional intelligence is really about recognizing, understanding, and managing our own feelings and also understanding the feelings of others. Mindfulness practice gives children valuable tools for this.
So, how exactly does mindfulness help a child identify their feelings? When we see a child in the middle of a tantrum, for instance, how can being mindful make a difference?
It begins with teaching children to pause, to take a moment, and simply notice what's happening inside them. Do you remember when we talked about the breath? The breath is our anchor. Taking a deep breath gives us a crucial space between the feeling itself and our immediate reaction to it.
That makes sense. It's like a small pause button for intense emotions. Instead of just reacting automatically, they can breathe and acknowledge what's happening internally.
Precisely. Mindfulness teaches us to observe our feelings without labeling them as good or bad. Instead of thinking, I'm angry and that's a terrible thing to be, a child learns to notice, I'm having an angry feeling right now. It feels hot on my chest. My hands are clenched into fists. They learn to just observe the experience.
Like a little scientist observing their own body and feelings. That's a really helpful way to put it. It's not about trying to suppress feelings, but about accepting them as temporary experiences. And the next step is labeling them, correct? Children often lack the vocabulary to express what they're feeling.
You've hit the nail on the head. We help them build that emotional dictionary. Simply identifying this feeling is anger, or this is a feeling of sadness, or I think I'm feeling frustrated, gives them a sense of control. It shines a light on the emotion, making it less overwhelming and scary.
For parents listening, what are some practical ways to help children label their feelings? Is just asking, "What are you feeling?" enough?
That's a good starting point, but when emotions are intense, we often get a simple "I don't know" in response. We can guide them by offering suggestions. You might say, it looks like you're feeling frustrated right now. Is that what's happening? Or you can link sensations. When my tummy feels all twisted up like that, I often feel worried. Connecting the physical sensations to the emotional labels is key.
That's brilliant. Linking the physical feelings to the emotional labels. It's not just asking them to introspect, but actively helping them connect those dots. And modeling is absolutely crucial in this process, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Children learn so much from watching us. When we model acknowledging our own feelings, like saying, Mommy is feeling a bit tired right now, so I'm going to take a few deep breaths. They see that emotions are normal and that we have healthy strategies for managing them. It's all about being present with our emotions.
When a situation arises, like not getting a second cookie, for example, what's a mindful approach for parents to take?
First, acknowledge their feeling. You could say, I see you're feeling disappointed that you can't have another cookie. It's really hard when we really want something and we can't have it. Validating their feelings shows them that they've been heard and understood.
So, it's about validation before jumping into problem solving. It's like saying, "I hear you, and it's okay to feel that way."
Exactly. Once a child feels truly understood, they're often much more open to exploring coping strategies. These might include mindful breaths, drawing their feelings, or even a comforting hug. We approach the emotion with presence and understanding rather than just trying to shut it down.
So, to briefly summarize for our listeners, mindfulness helps children pause, observe their feelings without judgment, and then label those feelings. We, as parents and caregivers, support this process by helping them build their emotional vocabulary, by linking physical sensations to emotions, and by being good role models ourselves.
That's a wonderful summary, Lisa. And remember, this is a journey that takes time and a great deal of patience. By bringing our presence to our children's emotional experiences, we are giving them an incredibly valuable gift, the ability to navigate their inner world with awareness, understanding, and resilience.
It truly equips them to be self-aware, empathetic, and fundamentally at peace with themselves.
It's a foundational skill for a happy and fulfilling life. Next episode, we'll explore the practice of gratitude and how to cultivate a thankful heart.
That sounds lovely, Alex. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back. Last time we explored understanding our feelings. Now let's cultivate gratitude.
After understanding their emotions, learning to appreciate what they have is such a wonderful step for kids. It really shifts their perspective.
Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a deeper appreciation for the good things, big and small. For children, it means a more positive outlook, increased resilience, and better relationships. A child who notices and appreciates things is less likely to feel they constantly need more.
So, how can we actively foster this in our young ones? It sounds like something we need to model and guide them through.
Exactly. One simple and effective method is through mindful reflection. This can be woven into daily routines. For instance, at the dinner table, instead of just asking, "How was your day?" try asking, "What's one thing you were grateful for today?"
Oh, I like that. It redirects the focus from just recounting events to actively looking for the good.
Precisely. And it doesn't have to be anything grand. It could be as simple as "I'm grateful for the sunshine today," or "I'm grateful my friend shared their toy." We want to encourage them to notice the everyday blessings.
That makes it very accessible. So, it's about prompting them to pause and recognize those positive moments, even subtle ones.
Yes, another wonderful activity is creating a gratitude jar. This is a tangible way for children to see their gratitude grow. You can use any jar or container, and then you simply have slips of paper. Whenever a child feels grateful for something, they write it down or draw it if they're younger and put in the jar.
A gratitude jar. What a lovely visual. So, they contribute to it regularly?
They can, and then periodically, perhaps once a week or when you're feeling low, you can open the jar together and read the notes. This reinforces the feeling of thankfulness and serves as a lovely reminder of all the good things in their lives. It's like an archive of joy.
That's such a beautiful idea. It's a family activity that keeps giving. And I can see how, over time, they'd start recognizing those moments more instinctively, even without prompting.
That's the goal. We're training their minds to look for the good. This practice connects directly to understanding feelings. When children can identify positive emotions associated with gratitude, they build a richer emotional vocabulary. They learn that appreciating something can bring feelings of joy, contentment, and peace.
So, it's not just about listing things, but about connecting with the feeling of gratitude.
Precisely. And we can also practice gratitude walks. When you're out in nature, remember episode 4? Encourage your child to notice things they appreciate about the natural world. The sturdy trunk of a tree, the fluttering wings of a butterfly, the soft grass beneath their feet.
Nature is such a rich source for gratitude. It's everywhere if we only slow down to see it.
It really is. And remember, for young children, consistency is key. Small, regular moments of gratitude practice will have a much bigger impact than a single grand gesture. Think of it like watering a plant. You don't water it once, you give it consistent care.
That's a great analogy, Alex. So, to recap the core ideas for our listeners, we can foster gratitude by incorporating simple mindful reflections into daily routines, like asking, "What are you grateful for?" at meals. We can also create tangible reminders like a gratitude jar, where children record or draw what they appreciate.
And don't forget to encourage gratitude during outdoor activities like nature walks, prompting them to notice and appreciate the world around them. The key is consistency and connecting with the positive emotions that gratitude brings. It's about cultivating a lens of appreciation.
It's about training their minds to seek out the positive, building on their emotional intelligence, and setting them up for a more content and resilient life.
Exactly. This practice of thankfulness is a powerful tool for well-being. As they grow, they'll carry this ability to appreciate, which will serve them incredibly well. It's truly a gift for their future.
It really is. Building a thankful heart truly lays a wonderful groundwork for everything else.
It certainly does. Next episode, mindful moments in daily routines. Welcome back. Last time, we explored the powerful practice of cultivating gratitude. Now, let's integrate presence into the everyday.
That's such a relief to hear, Alex. Sometimes the idea of adding another practice to a busy family schedule can feel overwhelming. So, today is about making mindfulness feel less like a chore and more like a natural flow.
Exactly, Lisa. Think of it like this. Mindfulness isn't just about sitting on a cushion and meditating. It's about paying attention, on purpose, to what's happening right now, without judgment. And this can happen anywhere, anytime. Our goal today is to identify those pockets of time in a typical child's day and a typical parent's day, where we can gently invite a moment of presence.
Okay, I'm picturing it. Like, instead of rushing through getting dressed, maybe there's a moment to just notice how the clothes feel.
Precisely. Let's start with transitions. Kids often struggle with shifting from one activity to another. This is where a mindful pause can be incredibly helpful. Imagine moving from playtime to mealtime. Instead of a quick shout, we can create a short bridge.
So, how would that mindful pause look in practice?
It could be as simple as taking 3 conscious breaths together. We can invite children to do this before they even stand up from their play. Okay, before we head to the table, let's take 3 big breaths. Feel your breath go in and out. You can even make it a game, like feeling their belly rise and fall. We revisited breath awareness, remember? It's a foundational tool that's always accessible.
Ah, yes. The breath is always there. So, this transition pause uses breath awareness to help them switch gears. What else?
We can also use body awareness. As they transition, you might say, let's feel our feet on the floor for a moment. Where are you standing right now? Are you wiggling your toes? This simple act grounds them in the present moment, making the shift less jarring.
That makes so much sense. It's like a little mental reset button. Are there other routines where this applies?
Absolutely. Chores are another fantastic opportunity. Think about putting away toys, setting the table, or even brushing teeth. Instead of viewing these as tedious tasks, we can reframe them. For example, when putting toys away, we can encourage children to notice the texture of the toys, the sounds they make as they go into the bin, or the feeling of accomplishment as the space becomes tidy.
So, it's about bringing attention to the sensory experience of these everyday activities, not just rushing through them to get them done.
Exactly. It's about savoring the journey, not just the destination. When setting the table, instead of just placing the fork, a child might notice the weight of it, the coolness of the metal, or how it sounds when it touches the plate. This transforms a mundane task into a mindful practice. It's about being present with the action itself.
This reminds me a bit of mindful eating, where we encourage savoring each bite. It's applying that same principle of mindful awareness to other daily activities.
It's the same underlying principle, and it's not about adding extra time. These mindful moments can be very brief, just a few seconds of focused attention. The cumulative effect over a day can be significant. Imagine a child who is consistently encouraged to notice their breath during transitions, to feel their feet when walking, or to fully engage with the sensation of brushing their teeth. This builds a habit of presence.
And this habit can grow and become intuitive. They might start doing these mindful pauses on their own, without us prompting them.
That's the ultimate goal. Another area is during playtime itself. Sometimes, children can become engrossed in a particular toy or game. We can encourage them to notice the details of their play. What are they building? What colors are they using? What sounds does their imaginary world make? This deepens their engagement and their enjoyment.
So, if a child is playing with blocks, instead of just saying, "That's nice," we might ask, "What kind of tower are you building? What does the block feel like in your hand?"
Precisely. It's about gentle curiosity and inviting them to explore their own experience. And it's not just for children. We as parents can practice this too. When we're helping with homework, making dinner, or even just walking to the car, we can take a moment to notice. What do I feel in my body? What sounds are around me? What's my breath doing?
That's a great point. It's easy to focus only on the child's mindfulness, but our own practice is so crucial. When we're present, our children are more likely to be.
Absolutely. The parent as a role model is a huge part of this. But for today, let's focus on these little pockets of opportunity. Think about waking up in the morning, the journey to school or daycare, meal times, playtime, bedtime routines. Each of these is an opportunity to invite presence.
It's about reframing these routine moments not as things to get through, but as chances to connect with ourselves and our children in the present. We're using tools we've already learned, breath awareness and body awareness, to infuse these everyday moments with mindfulness.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. We're not adding tasks. We're transforming existing ones by bringing mindful attention to them. We invite mindful pauses during transitions, bring awareness to chores, and deepen engagement during playtime. It's about making presence a natural rhythm of daily life.
So, to recap, we can use simple techniques like focusing on our breath or noticing bodily sensations to create mindful moments during transitions, while doing chores, and even during play. It's about being present with what's happening right now in the everyday.
Exactly. And the more we practice these small moments, the more natural and integrated mindfulness becomes for both us and our children. It anchors them in the present and builds a foundation for greater well-being.
This is so actionable. It feels achievable even on the busiest days.
That's the beauty of it. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated. It can be as simple as noticing your breath while pouring a glass of water.
It's about integrating presence into the everyday, making it a natural part of a child's life.
And that's what we've explored today. Next episode, we'll tackle a common challenge: overcoming difficulties when mindfulness feels tough for kids, and for us too. Welcome back. Last time we covered weaving mindful moments into daily routines. Now let's tackle overcoming challenges when mindfulness feels difficult.
That's such a relief to talk about, Alex. Because let's be honest, it's not always smooth sailing, is it? There are days when the very idea of sitting still for a mindful moment seems impossible for a child.
Absolutely, Lisa. And that's perfectly normal. Remember in episode 6, we talked about understanding our feelings? This is where that knowledge really comes into play. Children, just like us, can experience frustration, boredom, or simply a lack of interest. Their minds are incredibly active, and sometimes the idea of slowing down can feel foreign or even boring. Think of their minds like busy playgrounds where lots of thoughts are running around.
Right. So, when we encounter resistance, what's the first thing we should do? Should we push harder?
That's often our instinct, isn't it? To encourage or perhaps even insist. But the key here is gentle guidance, not force. If a child is showing a lot of resistance, it might be a sign they're not ready for that particular practice, or perhaps they need a different approach. Think of it like this: you can't force a flower to bloom faster than it's naturally ready. Patience is our superpower here.
That's a great analogy. So, if they're fidgety, for instance, during a breathing exercise, what's the best way to handle that?
Instead of saying, stop fidgeting, try acknowledging it. You could say, I see your legs are wiggling. That's okay. Sometimes our bodies have lots of energy that wants to move. Can we try to wiggle just our toes for a moment? Or maybe gently sway? This validates their experience while still guiding them towards the intention of the exercise. We want to make mindfulness accessible, not an unattainable goal. We're aiming for mindful awareness, not perfection.
So, we're not aiming for perfect stillness, but rather for mindful movement or mindful awareness, even amidst the wiggles.
Exactly. And it's also about recognizing when a child simply isn't interested. Maybe they're just not feeling a guided meditation that day. That's when we can shift gears. Perhaps a quicker, more sensory activity would be better. We've touched on connecting with nature in episode 4. How about a very short mindful walk outside, focusing on the sounds they can hear or the feeling of the breeze against their skin?
That makes sense. It's about finding what resonates with them in that moment. And what about us, the parents? We get frustrated too, right? When we're trying and it feels like it's not working.
Oh, absolutely. That's a crucial part of this. Our own emotional state heavily influences our children. If we're feeling stressed or impatient, our children will pick up on that, and it can make them even less receptive. This is where practicing mindful self-compassion comes in. Remember episode 12, where we discussed the parent as a role model. This is the perfect example. Our own approach matters just as much.
So, if we're feeling overwhelmed by their resistance, we can take a mindful breath ourselves first.
Precisely. Before responding to your child, take a moment. Notice your own feelings. Are you feeling impatient? Frustrated? Take a slow inhale and a slow exhale. Remind yourself that this is a practice, not a performance. It's okay if it's not perfect. This models for your child that it's okay to have difficult feelings and to manage them with awareness. It's like a mini reset button for you.
That's so valuable. It's not just about teaching the child, but about our own journey with it, too.
It truly is a shared journey. Another challenge can be when children have a very short attention span, which is completely developmentally appropriate for younger kids. For them, a 2-minute mindful activity is a huge accomplishment. Try to extend it too long can backfire, leading to more frustration. Think of it as offering them a small, manageable tasting menu of mindfulness.
So, brevity is key, especially for the little ones. Maybe a single mindful breath, or focusing on one sensory detail for a few seconds.
Yes, and we can make it fun. Instead of a formal mindfulness session, we can call it a listening game or a stillness challenge. We discussed in episode 8 how to integrate mindfulness into daily routines. This is a fantastic way to revisit those ideas. When you're brushing teeth, can you notice the taste of the toothpaste? When you're eating a snack, can you focus on the crunch? Little moments add up, and they don't feel like a chore. It's weaving it into the fabric of their day.
That's a great reminder. Making it playful and integrating it naturally is so much more effective than trying to force a formal practice.
And we also need to set realistic expectations. Not every child will become a little Buddha overnight. Some days will be great, others will be challenging. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistent effort and building awareness over time. It's about equipping them with tools that help them navigate their big feelings and the world around them, which we discussed in episode 6 and episode 7 regarding emotional intelligence and gratitude. Those are the building blocks for a resilient mind.
So, to recap for our listeners, when mindfulness feels difficult, remember to be patient, validate your child's experience, offer alternatives, and crucially, practice mindful self compassion for yourself as the parent. Short, playful, and integrated moments are often more effective than forced, lengthy sessions. And remember, even small moments of presence count.
That's a perfect summary, Lisa. This journey of raising mindful children is about presence, yes, but it's also about resilience, adaptability, and a whole lot of love and understanding. We're equipping them with essential life skills, and that's a gift that keeps on giving.
It really is. Thank you, Alex. This has been incredibly encouraging.
You're welcome. Next episode, The Digital World, Teaching Digital Well-Being and Mindful Screen Time. Welcome back. Last time, we explored handling when mindfulness feels challenging. Today, we're discussing the digital world.
That's such a crucial conversation, Alex. It feels like screens are everywhere, and kids are growing up with them in a way we never did. It can be tough for parents to navigate.
Absolutely. And it's not about demonizing technology. It's about equipping our kids with the skills to use it consciously. So, let's start with the very foundation. What does mindful screen time even look like?
That's a great question to begin with. I think for many parents, it just means limiting the hours. But you're hinting at something deeper, aren't you?
I am. Mindful screen time means being present and aware while we're using screens, and also being intentional about when and why we're using them. It's about bringing that same sense of awareness we've been cultivating through breath work or mindful eating to our interaction with phones, tablets, and computers.
So, it's not just about the clock, but about the quality of the interaction?
Exactly. Think about it. When a child is mindlessly scrolling or passively watching videos with their attention scattered, they're not truly engaged. They're not connecting with themselves or the world around them. It's a bit like eating without tasting your food. You're doing the action, but not truly experiencing it.
That's a perfect analogy. So, what are some practical ways we can encourage this mindful engagement with screens?
One of the first steps is to create intentional moments for screen use. Instead of allowing screens to be a constant backdrop, we can designate specific times for them. This helps children understand that screens are a tool or an activity, not just something that's always on.
So, a bit like setting aside time for homework or playtime.
Precisely. And within those designated times, we can encourage mindful media consumption. This means asking questions like, what are you watching and why does it interest you? Or, how does this make you feel? This encourages them to be active participants in their media choices rather than just passive recipients.
That shifts the focus from consumption to connection, doesn't it? It helps them understand their own reactions.
It really does. And this leads perfectly into setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are essential for digital well-being, just as they are for any area of life. Think about screen-free times or zones.
Like no phones at the dinner table or keeping screens out of bedrooms at night.
Exactly. These boundaries help create space for other activities that are crucial for development and presence, like face-to-face interaction, reading, playing outdoors, or simply being still. They provide essential breathing room for the mind.
And I imagine these boundaries need to be communicated clearly and consistently. It's not a one-time conversation.
Absolutely right. Consistency is key, and it's also important to explain why these boundaries exist. When children understand the reasoning, perhaps to help them sleep better or to allow for family connection, they're more likely to cooperate. We can relate it back to how our bodies and minds need rest and connection. Remember when we discussed tuning into the body in episode 5? This is a direct application of that.
That makes so much sense. And it sounds like parents need to be mindful of their own screen habits too, right? Children learn so much by observing us.
You've hit the nail on the head. The parent as a role model, which we'll delve into more deeply in episode 12, is paramount here. If we're constantly on our phones, it sends a mixed message. Practicing mindful screen time ourselves and demonstrating healthy boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to teach it.
So it's about integrating presence into the digital world, not just in the offline world.
Precisely. And this also involves teaching them about the impact of screens on their emotional states. If a child is feeling agitated after playing a certain game or sad after watching something upsetting, we can guide them to notice those feelings without judgment.
This ties back really well to episode 6 on understanding our feelings. So, if they're feeling a bit wobbly after screen time, we can help them acknowledge that feeling, perhaps take a few mindful breaths, and then consciously choose a different activity.
Exactly. We're teaching them self-regulation. It's about empowering them to make conscious choices about their digital diet rather than being controlled by it. This mindful approach helps prevent what's often called digital overwhelm.
Digital overwhelm. That's an interesting term. It sounds like a state of being overstimulated and unfocused due to too much digital input.
That's a great way to put it. And it can manifest as irritability, difficulty concentrating, or even anxiety. By fostering mindful screen time, we're creating a buffer against that. We're helping them develop a healthy relationship with technology that enhances their lives rather than detracting from it.
So, to recap what we've discussed today, mindful screen time is about being present and intentional with our digital interactions. We can encourage this by setting designated times and zones for screens, practicing mindful media consumption, and establishing clear, consistent boundaries. Crucially, parents need to be role models, and we can help children recognize and manage their emotions after screen use, linking back to our previous discussions on emotional intelligence.
That's a fantastic summary, Lisa. It's about bringing awareness to every aspect of our children's lives, including their digital lives. It's about teaching them to be masters of their technology, not the other way around.
It really helps to break it down like this. It feels less overwhelming and more achievable for parents.
And the payoff is immense. Children who have a healthy relationship with technology are often more present, more balanced, and ultimately, more resilient.
Definitely. So, what's next on our mindfulness journey for children?
Next episode, mindfulness for different ages.
We'll see you all then.
Welcome back to Raise Mindful Children. Last time we explored mindful screen time. Today, we're adapting mindfulness for different ages.
What works for a toddler won't work for a 12-year-old. How do we tailor these practices?
Exactly. We meet children where they are. For toddlers, ages 1 to 3, mindfulness is super short, sensory, and play-based. Think planting tiny seeds of awareness.
Play-based sounds perfect. What does that look like?
Simple, concrete experiences. Instead of 10 deep breaths, we use bubble breath. Blowing bubbles means inhaling and exhaling. Or a pinwheel. Blowing makes it spin. That's their breath practice. Connecting breath with fun.
I love that. Embedded in their play, not a formal sit. How about body awareness?
For toddlers, it's simple sensations. A gentle touch activity, patting their arm, tummy, head. Notice the feeling. Dancing with our bodies, stretch, wiggle, jump. Notice how their body feels moving. It's sensory exploration.
So for toddlers, short bursts, sensory play, and fun.
Precisely. For preschoolers, ages 3 to 5, their focus is still limited, but they can handle slightly more structure. Engaging them through stories or imaginative play is key.
A step up from toddlers. What tools work for preschoolers?
For breathing, try teddy bear breathing. Place a stuffed animal on their belly. They watch the teddy rise and fall as they breathe. For listening, try listening games. Call out a sound or play quiet music and ask them to notice when it stops.
Great for building focus. And for emotional awareness?
Introduce feeling words. How does your body feel when you're happy? Warm? Wiggly? Use feeling cards with faces. Read stories about characters' emotions and discuss them. Link internal experience to external expression.
So for preschoolers, we build on sensory play with more structure and introduce emotion language.
Exactly. For school-age children, roughly 6 to 11, we can really deepen the formal practice. Their attention spans grow, and they understand more abstract concepts. Longer meditations and reflective practices work well.
This is where formal meditation comes in. What does that look like for them?
Guided visualizations are great. Stories where they imagine being in a peaceful place. Mindful walking, noticing feet on the ground, leg movement, the breeze. Breathing exercises can be more formal, like counting breaths or focusing on air at the nose.
And helping them with challenging emotions?
This is prime age for emotional regulation. Thoughts are like clouds passing by. They don't have to believe every thought. Teach them to pause before reacting. Stop, breathe, think. Journaling helps older elementary kids process feelings.
So, for school aged children, longer practices, visualizations, and tools for managing thoughts and emotions.
Precisely. For preteens and early teens, ages 12 to 14, this is a period of huge change. Mindfulness can be a crucial anchor.
This age group can resist adult things. How do we make mindfulness relevant?
Connected to their lives, stress from school, focus for sports, navigating friendships. More sophisticated techniques like body scans, bringing awareness to different body parts. Sitting meditations can be 5 to 10 minutes.
And for the big emotions and social pressures?
Self-compassion is vital. Help them understand it's okay to not be perfect. They aren't alone. Mindfulness builds resilience. It can enhance performance in their activities. Introduce mindful communication, listening fully.
So, for preteens, connect mindfulness to their challenges, build resilience, foster self compassion. Practical tools for adolescents.
Exactly. And parents, be flexible. The goal isn't perfection, but consistent gentle effort. For all ages, the core principles are the same. Awareness of breath, body, thoughts, emotions. We just tailor the delivery.
Fantastic wrap up, Alex. Toddlers, play based sensory fun. Preschoolers, structure and emotion language. School aged, longer practices, emotional regulation. Preteens, connect to challenges, resilience, self compassion. We adapt the how while keeping the what consistent.
You got it, Lisa. This is a lifelong practice, guiding them toward a more present and fulfilling life, one mindful moment at a time, no matter their age. Next episode, the parent as a role model. Welcome back to Raise Mindful Children. Today we focus on you, the parent, as a role model.
That's right, Alex. We've covered many techniques for the kids, but what we do speaks loudest. If we want our children to be present and calm, they need to see us being that way.
Exactly, Lisa. Our kids absorb our energy and habits. If we're always rushed or stressed, they'll pick up on that. So, the most crucial step is to practice mindfulness ourselves.
And that doesn't mean perfection, just authenticity. How can parents practically integrate mindfulness into their own lives in an achievable way?
Let's revisit the breath. Our breath is always with us. Before reacting to stress, take one conscious breath. Feel the air come in and go out. It's a tiny pause.
So, it's about finding small, doable moments, not long meditation sessions. Taking one conscious breath before reacting could truly make a difference.
Precisely. And mindful eating. Instead of rushing through meals, try savoring just a few bites. Notice the textures and tastes. If your child sees you appreciating your food, they're more likely to do the same.
That creates a shared experience, like connecting with nature. If a parent notices a leaf's detail or a bird's song, the child naturally follows.
It's about a mindful mindset. Tuning into our bodies means checking in with yourself too. Are my shoulders tense? This self-awareness is powerful when observed by children.
This connects to understanding our feelings. If a parent can calmly acknowledge their own frustration, saying, I'm feeling frustrated, so I'll take a moment. Rather than exploding, that's a huge lesson in emotional regulation.
That normalizes their inner experience. It shows kids' feelings are okay and we have ways to manage them. Cultivating gratitude is also key for modeling. Expressing thanks and noticing small joys are habits children pick up by watching.
We're creating a mindful family culture. This relates to integrating mindfulness into daily routines. Bringing calm to bedtime stories or the morning rush will be absorbed by children.
And when mindfulness feels difficult, showing your own calm, even if it's an effort, is vital. Saying, "This is tough, but I'll try to stay calm," demonstrates resilience.
It's about being present with imperfection, not perfect. This is relevant to the digital world. If parents set clear boundaries for their own screen time and demonstrate mindful engagement, children learn by example.
And remembering children are at different stages means adapting our own practice. A toddler might benefit from playful engagement, while a tween might see a parent's quiet stress management.
So, for this episode, the most powerful way to teach mindfulness is to be a role model. Integrate conscious breathing, mindful eating, nature connection, body awareness, emotional regulation, gratitude, intentional routines, and mindful tech use into your own life. It's about authenticity and resilience, even when things are hard.
This isn't about adding more. It's about how we do things. Infuse presence into the present. When we're mindful, our children are more likely to be. Our practice creates the space for theirs to flourish.
It's a shared journey where we learn and grow alongside them, making it more sustainable and joyful.
It truly does. Next episode is about deepening the practice and creative exploration.
For this episode, the key takeaway is be the mindful person you want your child to become. Your practice has an immense ripple effect.
Thanks for listening. Welcome back to Raise Mindful Children. We explored the crucial role of the parent as a role model.
That's right. We saw how mirroring presence can create a mindful home. Now, in episode 13, we're ready to dive a little deeper. We'll explore more advanced techniques and creative ways for children to connect with the present moment.
Exactly. We've learned to walk, and now we'll explore gentle jogging and creative movement. The core principles remain the same, but we can adapt and expand them for children becoming more comfortable with mindfulness.
So, where do we start with these more involved techniques?
It's still about simple, accessible practices. One area is mindful storytelling. Instead of just reading a story, we encourage children to be fully present with the narrative.
Mindful storytelling. How does that work in practice?
It's about engaging all the senses. If a story mentions a crunchy apple, we might ask, what does that apple sound like? Can you imagine its crispness? If it describes a cool breeze, we might say, can you feel a pretend breeze on your skin? We pause and invite them to notice.
So, it's about bringing the story to life, making it a multi-sensory experience.
Precisely. It's about asking them to feel the story. Another layer is mindful art. When children create art, we encourage them to be present with their materials and their process.
Mindful art, so it's not just about the final product?
Exactly. We ask questions like, what does that paintbrush feel like? Or what colors are you drawing right now? We encourage them to notice the texture of the paper, the smell of the crayons, the sounds of their movements. It's about the journey of creation.
This sounds wonderful for encouraging creativity while grounding them. It's like they're learning to be fully engaged in whatever they're doing.
That's the goal. We're deepening their capacity for focused attention. Another way to deepen practice is through mindful movement explorations. Beyond simple stretching, this could involve guided journeys where children imagine themselves as animals or natural elements.
Oh, like pretending to be a tall tree, feeling your roots grounded, or a flowing river.
Yes, we might guide them to notice how a tree stands strong and still, or how a river moves and adapts. This connects to our earlier discussions about tuning into the body, but with an imaginative twist. We're encouraging them to embody these qualities.
So it's not just about thinking about being present, but feeling it in their bodies through imaginative play.
Exactly. And advanced doesn't mean difficult. It simply means building on what we've learned. We might also introduce mindful observation exercises. This is about really looking at something, a flower, a cloud, an object, and noticing its details without judgment.
I remember we touched on mindful observation in nature. Is this similar?
It is, but we can do it anywhere. You can pick up a smooth stone. We encourage children to turn it over, feel its coolness, notice any patterns. We ask them, what do you see that you might not have noticed before? It's about cultivating curiosity.
It sounds like we're giving them tools to really appreciate the world around them, the small wonders.
That's the essence of it. We're nurturing their capacity for wonder. And to consolidate these ideas, we can create mindfulness jars together.
A mindfulness jar? Tell me more.
Gladly. You take an empty jar, fill it partially with water, then add glitter, some food coloring. When a child is feeling overwhelmed, they shake the jar. They watch the glitter swirl and slowly settle.
Ah, shaking the jar calms the sparkle, and watching it settle helps them find their own calm. It's a visual metaphor for their own minds.
Precisely. The swirling glitter represents busy thoughts, and as it settles, they learn to observe their own inner state calming down. It's a tangible way to practice pausing and observing. We're offering them creative ways to deepen their connection to the present moment.
So, to recap, we've explored deepening mindfulness through mindful storytelling with sensory engagement, mindful art focusing on the process, mindful movement using imagination, mindful observation to hone attention to detail, and the mindfulness jar as a visual anchor for calming.
You got it, Lisa. These are all ways to build on the foundational practices we've discussed. They empower children to engage more deeply with their experiences and find calm and focus in new and creative ways. Absolutely. And that sets us up perfectly for a final episode, where we'll talk about maintaining this practice long term and truly about raising resilient children.
Wonderful. So, next episode, a lifelong journey, sustaining presence and raising resilient children.
Welcome back for a final episode. Today we focus on sustaining presence and raising resilient children.
It feels like we've covered so much ground, exploring ways to weave mindfulness into our children's lives, starting with simply being fully here.
That's right. Presence begins with awareness, often starting with the breath. In episode 2, we highlighted the power of a few mindful breaths to center us.
I remember those simple breathing exercises, like pretending to blow up a balloon. They're so effective for calming down. Then, in episode 3, we explored mindful eating, encouraging children to savor their meals.
Savoring extends beyond food, and episode 4 took us outside to connect with nature. The natural world offers a fantastic classroom for mindfulness, providing chances to observe and listen.
It's incredible how much we can learn by simply paying attention. Episode 5 then guided us to tune into our bodies, recognizing signals like hunger or tiredness.
And that naturally leads to understanding our emotions, which we focused on in episode 6. Mindfulness empowers children to identify their feelings without judgment.
Precisely. This insight paves the way for cultivating gratitude, our topic in episode 7. Practicing thankfulness shifts focus towards the good things.
And as we moved into episode 8, we showed how to integrate these practices into everyday routines. Mindfulness can be woven into teeth brushing or walking to school.
but it's not always easy, is it?
Episode 9 addressed the challenges, both for children and parents, when mindfulness feels difficult. It normalized those moments of struggle.
Then came episode 10, a really important one in today's world, navigating the digital landscape. We discussed fostering digital well-being and encouraging mindful screen time.
We also recognize that mindfulness practices need to adapt as children grow, which was our topic in episode 11. What works for a toddler is different from what works for a tween.
And a crucial element we explored in episode 12 is the parent's role as a model. Children learn so much by watching us. When parents practice mindfulness alongside their children, it strengthens the connection.
Episode 13 nudged us towards deepening the practice, exploring more creative and advanced techniques to keep mindfulness engaging as children mature.
And now, here we are in our final episode. The overarching theme has been that raising mindful children is a lifelong journey. It's an ongoing practice that benefits both child and parent.
Indeed, the skills we've fostered, presence, emotional awareness, gratitude, and self-regulation, are the building blocks of resilience. When children are present, they can better navigate life's ups and downs. They learn to respond rather than react.
This cultivates a deep sense of inner calm and well-being that lasts a lifetime. It helps them build stronger, more meaningful connections with others because they are truly present with them.
It's about creating a foundation of awareness that allows children to face challenges with greater confidence and adaptability. These practices are tools for a richer, more fulfilling life.
So, keep practicing, keep exploring, and remember that this journey of presence is one you're on together with your children. Each mindful moment contributes to their growth and resilience.
It's been an absolute pleasure guiding you through these episodes. We hope the tools and insights shared have been valuable for your family.
Thanks for listening to the series.